Today's a different day. We're gonna get these club recommendations, I guess, out of the way. If this is the first video you're clicking on, my name is Savette. I talk about whatever I want to, whenever I want to on my channel. And today I'm gonna talk about the clubs I went to while I was in South Korea, while I was in Seoul, Mapo-gu, Hongdae area specifically. We entertained the idea of going to Gangnam, but we didn't end up going. And then we also entertained the idea of going to Itaewon, but we did not go. We only stayed in Hongdae and partied in Hongdae, which was fine. The way we're gonna start it is we're gonna go from least favorite experiences to the best experiences. The meaning of this video is to just pass what I got from the clubs and like the vibes of the clubs onto somebody else. There were some that were better than others, so that's how I'm gonna order it. The first club I'm going to discuss is Zen. Zen was recommended, I think, later during our trip. The way one of the guys in the group described it as just a place to have a good time and there's always a story to tell. So we all got dressed in a big group and we all went to Zen and it was okay. I'm not a big hip hop club person. I like hip hop to listen to, but not necessarily to dance to. But it was very laid back and chill. The best thing that I liked about Zen was that women got in for free. I liked the bartenders. They seemed to be really chill. I saw way more foreigners there than I think any other of the clubs I went to. The only thing I can think of that would combat how many foreigners I saw at Zen was how many foreigners were in MB2. As for the vibe, Zen is very strange. I thought it was like more of like a kickback type of place. I actually did not like the music at all because it wasn't mixed with anything, so it was just actual organic hip hop playing. I found it really hard to dance to. It just wasn't doing anything for me. That is probably why it's on the bottom of the list of clubs. If you are into that sort of thing, hip hop without anything mixed into it, you should probably check it out. Apparently weird things happen there and I could totally see that being the case with the type of people that are in there, but I didn't have anything crazy happen to me there. It was just more of like a chill middle place to go to before you go somewhere else. Alright, now we're gonna talk about Club Vera. I say I went to Club Vera a day before I left South Korea. From the moment I was waiting in line to get into the club, I did not feel welcomed at all. Like, there was just this energy, this negative energy towards me. I didn't really see many foreigners in Club Vera, so it was very, very awkward. And the only thing that made me enjoy my Vera experience was the fact that the music was really good. Personally, it's a pretty small club. The bartenders are okay. The people that you have to talk to before you get in, they're not very friendly. This is very interesting to me because when it comes to EDM and electronic music, there's a lot of like racism within it. So I don't know if that is probably embedded into the people that like EDM in South Korea, but I feel like a lot of the tension that I felt was mostly racial more than me being a foreigner. It was me being a foreigner, but also me being a black foreigner. I just didn't feel welcome at all, whatsoever. The only thing that saved me in Vera was the music. They had some hip hop mixed in there, but it wasn't like the main theme of everything. With EDM, I can literally dance the whole night by myself and be groovy, like be fine. I was basically up on one of the platforms that could fit probably about 6 or 7 people, and I was just dancing, you know, praising the DJ. I have this thing that I do where when I kind of sober up from my drinking and I don't want to drink anymore, if I start feeling self-conscious, I do this thing where I concentrate on the DJ. I picture this guy creating mixes and my goal is to dance to those mixes very, very well in order to win his affections. So my My concentration was mostly on the DJ, and it helped because he was hot. So it did not help. And then another guy came up there. He was okay. It's not about them being hot. It's just about programming my mind to concentrate on nothing but the DJ. And there was another guy in there, another foreign guy that was on the same platform as me. He loved him some EDM, but after a while he had to get a bottle of water and he sat down and he was looking up at me like, when you gonna get tired? And I was like, yo, this is my second to last night. I'm going hard. I personally feel like I saw more people dancing aggressively in Club Vera than any of the other clubs I went to during my trip to South Korea. It was a lot of rhythmic dancing. You know how some people do drugs and they dance to electronic music? Some of those guys were going ham. Like one dude was like this, like to the music. I was watching him from a platform and I was like, well, he's on beat. There was a lot of shirtless men. I don't know if you're not allowed to take your shirt off at the club, but in Vera, they just got up on the platform and they were shirtless and I was like, ugh. Not in a bad way, but it's just like, I just didn't expect this. I wasn't prepared. And then there was one guy, he had his shirt off and he was just standing in the corner. His face was like a baby face. I'm pretty sure he was like young, maybe like 22. He was just standing there and I'm like, bro, dance, attract women. What are you doing? Like, yeah, your body's nice, but you gotta do something with it or else you look super awkward. And he was just standing there like this whole coming to the club and not dancing thing. I don't understand it. Club Vera didn't feel welcomed very much. Music was pretty good. Got to dance with shirtless men, not with them, but I had them surrounding me, so that was kind of nice. And if you do like EDM music, just go to Aura. Okay, third club. Now I'm gonna discuss the club that's next to Aura. If you get access to Aura, you get access to... I was in Aura with my cousin and she wanted to switch over to hip hop music because she felt like the EDM was repetitive, which she wasn't wrong. Everybody was like friendly, everybody was smiling and happy. I think I saw a lot of people dancing as well, probably as much as Vera. One thing I noticed, NB2 plays a lot of songs that you're not ever meant to dance to in a club ever, and who played hip hop without those questionable gaps. It still was more of like sway music for me. As I mentioned before, I don't like dancing to hip hop music, but it was really, really pleasant.
I wanted to stay in Aura, but my cousin likes hip hop music, so we went to... It's pretty good. Sometimes they mix EDM and stuff a little bit, so it's kind of nice. I'm having a really good time. I'm glad my cousin pulled me and forced me to go. I was telling the guards, I was like, no hip hop, no hip hop. They were kind of laughing when they saw me. I was like, no, and my cousin was like, please. Oh my God, I love this song. Okay, I gotta go.
There was some dude dressed around as something walking around and people had glow sticks. There was these two guys who offered me a drink. They had a little section booth where they were sitting with their little bucket full of ice, and I sat down next to them and I drank with them. And one of the guys gave me a whole bunch of the small papers that you throw out into the crowd like when the beat drops. He gave me a whole stack of them to throw out and I was like, oh, thank you so much. So I left the table and I like threw it out. All this was really, really brief. They were just really, really friendly. They have lockers where you can put your stuff in. One guy stopped me. He was really attractive. And he was like, oh, locker, would you like a locker? According to the Google reviews, sometimes stuff goes missing within those lockers. You know, sometimes stuff like money. So I was like, nope. Nobody's taking anything from me. I'm having a good night today. Nothing's gonna ruin that. I met another black guy. He was from Canada and he tried to come with us over to Aura, but they told him no. So I don't think you can make the transition from to Aura. I think you have to go through Aura and then you'll be able to get into without waiting in line. The line for Aura is really, really long. So a guy from Canada was not able to get in with us. Me and my cousin went back into Aura. After my cousin pulled me in that one time, the only purpose I had going in was to take the glow sticks out of and bring it into Aura. I would probably go back maybe 1 or 2 more times. It was really, really nice. It was really, really hard trying to decide if I wanted NB2 to be the #1 club that I visited, or Aura to be the #1 club that I visited. But I think I decided that it was going to be NB2. So we're gonna talk about Aura first.
Go to Club Aura, you guys. Aura's really, really cool. I really, really like it.
Aura was the club that I went to because I could not take it anymore. I was in some hip hop club, I don't even know the name of it, and was talking to a Japanese guy briefly, and then I went back to dancing with my friends, and we had hopped to so many different hip hop clubs, and we had some bad experiences at some of them, and I was just tired. I was like, I'm so tired of dancing to the same music. So I decided that I did not want my night to end early because I like to party all the way until like 5, and I decided to go to Aura by myself. One of my friends was leaving, so he walked me to Aura, got in line with me, stood in line with me, talked for a while, and then as I got closer, our other friends came out the hip hop club and he joined them. They all left. So when I got to the beginning of the line, there was the security guard. The security guards, they're older. I don't know if they're in their late 20s or maybe early 30s. Not only are they older, they have machismo, I don't know what the word is. They're just really like stern, but for me it's in a really hot way. I know it's their job to be that way, and the club's not gonna just hire ugly people, but they're really attractive. A nice sight to see outside the club. When I finally got to the front of the line, one of the guards was just like, where are your friends? And I was like, they all don't like EDM. He was like, well, here's Aura, and this will be able to get you into as well. And I was like, no. He started laughing. And yeah, I went into Aura. I went to the bar, took a drink, because I was like, yo, this is my first time going to a club alone. I'm gonna need a drink. I was very, very nervous. So I had a shot of tequila and was like, okay, I am in love with the DJ. There's 2 pillars that are pretty high, and then there is the stage. I wanted to get on the pillar, but it was my first time there, and again, I was alone, so I was like, oh, I don't know if I want to do that. The music was so good. The music was heavenly. The music was so good, and again, it was my first night clubbing alone and my first night going to an EDM club. So I was able to just dance and actually enjoy myself thoroughly. Pretty soon I just didn't even care that I was sober.
At Club Aura right now, it is so good. I wish I would have came here sooner. And I only have 3 days left, and I'm probably gonna come here every night. But I think Monday and Tuesday they're closed. Doesn't that sound so good?
I felt comfortable in Club Aura. Unlike Club Vera, where it was more negative, when I was listening to the music, it was like, why wasn't I here every other day that I was clubbing? As mentioned in part 2, I met a guy. He was a good dancer. At some other point in that night, I actually lost my phone. He helped me retrace my steps. We asked the security guard. They were really, really helpful. The guys at the door were super helpful. Apparently we were dancing so much that my phone fell on the ground. Lo and behold, one of the guys near the tables had actually picked up the phone and put it in his pocket. They saw us searching around for something, and I was so happy that he pulled it out that I like instantly, I was like, oh my god, thank you so much. Like, I hugged him and he was like, okay. I probably frightened him, but I was just so happy. Now, the reason why Aura is the second to last one is because my cousin had a negative experience. This happened the second time I went to Aura, just to make it clear, not the first time when I was alone. What happened to my cousin is she was tired of dancing and she went to go sit down at the bar, and she bought something to drink. She was sitting in an area that was in front of like a bowl with alcohol in it, and a guy came over, I'm guessing it was his, and he offered her something to drink, and she said no thank you. The bartender was upset that she said no to the guy. He literally told her to get up out of her chair, and she didn't know what was going on, so she got up, and he came around the bar, took the chair, and gave it to the guy that had offered her alcohol. Now, I didn't find out that this happened until I went home that night. That put a bad taste in her mouth, of course, and that put a bad taste in my mouth, because I was looking at the bartender like, okay, which bartender was it? Because I know she must have just been like, really? Just because I didn't accept a drink? Reading up on the club, I heard a lot of different warnings about many things, discrimination issues, about the girls who pour alcohol into your mouth. People have gotten sick, but I just made sure to heed some of those warnings, so when they were coming around and pouring liquor in people's mouths. I didn't accept any. There was one really nice lady who gave me ice because I'd been dancing for like 3 hours and like 3 or 4 women had come up to me to try and offer me alcohol. I was on a pillar my second night. There were guys who would kind of like lift their drink up to me so I could have some, and I'd be like, no, thank you, no thank you, no thank you. I was dancing sober for the entire 3 hours. I've heard a lot of different stories about things happening, so I just made sure to heed those warnings, and for the most part my experience was a good experience. My cousin's experience was not a good one. Aura has very mixed reviews, but I personally enjoyed myself. Next, we're gonna talk about NB2. And NB2 is pretty much my first club that I really liked on my list because I was the most comfortable at NB2 than any other clubs. And that's probably the only hip hop club I'll go back to. The very first night we went out partying, we went to NB2, and the music is nice because everything's mixed together. Occasionally they'll play hip hop songs that are just like as they are, but a lot of times they'll mix it with something that's actually danceable and upbeat. So as far as the music goes, I'm pretty content with the music in NB2. My only thing that I don't like about the music is sometimes they play songs like Ed Sheeran. They play songs that you just shouldn't play in the club. Musically, they're very about playing what's popular. They played Okie Dokie, they played Eureka, they played Mome a lot. The very first night, there was guys dancing with me and my cousin, and immediately when Mome came on, they started rapping to us. They're like, this is our element. We don't know all the English words, but this is a Korean song. We gonna rap these lyrics to y'all ladies. I feel like if you are black and you want to dance with somebody, there's more of a chance that you'll find somebody to dance with you at NB2. Whether it's for fetish reasons or whether not, it's really easy to get dances in NB2. I feel like you can always find somebody to dance with. I feel like they're used to black foreigners being in NB2. That is quite nice during some nights where you feel like really weird about being where you are. I think that's the club we went to the most, and I had the most fun and met the most people at NB2. Probably got hit on by 6 girls.
So I don't know if it was the collar. I don't know what it was exactly that screamed, this chick can get it to all of the, maybe not lesbians, maybe even bisexual people in the club. But I was like a magnet. And I'm just like, yo, I am not about this life.
They were all really pretty girls. And then lastly, I got hit on by a couple, which was interesting. It was really the girl doing most of the work because her boyfriend, who was Chinese, could not speak English. While he was attractive, and while she was very attractive as well, I am not that person for that job.
Like even a couple, you know, this girl chatted with us for a while and she was super sweet. But at the end of the experience, she started rubbing on me and telling me, oh, my boyfriend really likes your culture and your people. And I'm like, huh. That's really nice.
I know people always have weird stories when they go there. I had some really weird stories, but nothing that was super significant enough to report besides the constantly getting hit on by women. I probably just need to stop wearing leather and like spiked chokers and stuff in boots to the club. That is probably my problem. My friends were like, oh, that's because you exude the energy of a mistress. And I'm just like, but can I do that like for men? Like, can all the submissive men please come to me? So yeah, those are the clubs that I went to, and I enjoyed all of them for the most part. There were some negative things, but I don't regret going to any of those clubs. And besides Vera, I'll probably go to the other ones again. I might give Vera one more try. We'll see. We'll see. I would definitely have to be at Vera with a friend, or I would have to be pretty intoxicated to go back to Vera. Definitely let me know if you have any experiences in any of these clubs. I like listening to other people's stories, and I will see you guys later. Peace out.
I am so exhausted and it is only 2:08. So far, the club experience is really nice. Hopefully you guys can hear me. I shouldn't have brought my backpack because it's like I can't make bodily contact to dance with people because my backpack takes up so much room. So right now I'm just dancing and I'm just like, next time I will not bring my backpack because I want to be able to like dance on people. So next time I know better.
They're downstairs.
You ready?
Huh?
I want to go home.
You wanna go
Me
home?
and Isaac are going home, but they're staying here, but they have the Wi-Fi.
Okay, good. I'm gonna go back downstairs.
Yes, they told me to tell you to go back down there. They're
Okay.
still in the same area.
Okay, good. So
Do you want me to take your backpack or anything?
Oh my god, that'd be awesome.
Okay, I'll take.
Wait,